A young man named Wim Strauss stands ready, a glowing magic circle forming around his hand as he grips a short blade. This is the story of a support caster whose true strength remains hidden even from himself. Deep within the labyrinth on level 98, the air is thick with moisture and dread. A pink-haired girl gasps for breath, her lungs burning as she struggles to stay upright. She looks toward the water where a massive, armored creature looms, its presence suffocating. She mutters Wim's name, realizing the dire reality of their situation. A chilling, mocking laugh ripples through the air as a heavy splash cuts through the silence. The aftermath of a brutal struggle leaves Wim sitting on the damp ground, his expression hollow. Beside him lies the massive corpse of a purple, horned demon, its oversized tongue lolling out onto the stones. This is the beginning of the worst departure for the granting caster. The journey of the support caster is divided into grim milestones. It begins with a bitter exit, followed by an encounter with a village friend in the appearance of the Nachtlibel. His path leads through the mastery of granting magic and the eventual slaying of a wyvern. The clock turns back a few months. Inside the cold, stone pillars of the labyrinth, the atmosphere is deathly still. Wim stands alone, his body racked with tremors as he clutches his knife. Ambition in these depths is a death sentence. Failing to retreat from a boss means nothing awaits a person but a cold grave. Blood spatters the floor where Wim's allies lie motionless. He stares at their prone forms, desperately hoping they are still breathing. The situation is unavoidable. Nearby, the massive, scaled tail of a beast quivers, signaling that the threat is far from over. A colossal reptilian boss towers over the lone caster. Its mouth is a cavern of jagged teeth, and its eyes lock onto the small human standing before it. Wim looks like an ant before a god of scales and hunger. Terror grips Wim as he stares into the boss's eye. He realizes this is the true power of a floor guardian. A massive impact rocks the chamber, a sound like a mountain breaking. Everyone else was wiped out in a single hit. Panic sets in as he realizes he needs to bail, but the exit is a world away. He stands paralyzed, wondering what he can possibly do against such overwhelming force. Desperate thoughts race through his mind. He considers trying to grab all three of his teammates and running, or perhaps buying time until help arrives. He quickly rejects both. They are impossible tasks for a man like him. Forcing himself to move, he decides there's only one way forward. He tells himself to suck it up, drawing his blade with a sharp metallic click. He exhales a heavy breath, bracing for the end. Wim begins an irreversible chant, calling out the shift to Puppenspieler. A dull thud echoes as the magic takes hold. In that moment of clarity, he realizes that choosing to save himself was always an option he could have taken. He feels a heavy debt to the members of Drachenflügel for the time they spent with someone like him. The boss dashes forward, a wall of muscle and rage. Despite the fear, a small spark of pride flickers within Wim. He feels he's finally doing something meaningful with his life as the beast roars in his face. The scene shifts to the Drachenflügel party house. Wim stands in the middle of the room, his face pale and sweating. He tries to explain that the strangest thing happened in the dungeon, stammering as he wonders why things turned out the way they did. A nervous laugh escapes him as he tries to find the words. A sharp metallic slide cuts him off. Kronos, the leader of Drachenflügel, draws a heavy sword and levels the tip directly at Wim's throat. He tells Wim not to make him repeat himself. With a cold, dismissive look, the leader commands Wim to get lost, calling him a piece of crap. The rest of the party joins the assault. Melis the sorceress and Nicola the priestess stand behind their leader, making their stance crystal clear. They accuse Wim of being a parasite, who only takes the good parts of their hard work. Kronos claims his sword and Melis's magic had the boss cornered. They sneer at him, asking if he really thinks finishing the boss off was his own doing, or if it made him a hero. Internally, Wim knows the truth. He slayed the boss. Externally, he just trembles, sweating as he stammers that they defeated it together. As ancient powers awaken and stronger enemies emerge from the depths, Wim will have to decide whether he'll continue fighting for others, or finally fight for himself. This is only the start of the Granting Caster's rise. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more anime and manga stories brought to life.